I need a pen. Hey. Good evening, everyone. Good evening. I am Renee Williams, and I am talking about addiction, how we were tired of being tired. And I know some people can relate to me about that. We are tired of being tired. We were tired of being tired. Before we get started, I wanted to give thanks to each and every last one of you who done celebrated Clean Time. You know, as I rolled down, I see people celebrating 6 years, 20 years. You know, I'm really proud of you. If ain't nobody told you that other than you telling yourself that, I want to tell you, you are appreciated. Because nobody knows what we do or what we go through to just get that one day at a time. And that's a lot for us. You know, let me give God some praise. Most Heavenly Father, the God of my understanding, I give you thanks. I give you praise. I thank you for touching each and every last one of us that's even struggling, or the ones that relapse, or the ones that's clean. Thank you, God. Thank you, because you are the very reason why we know that we are loved. We know you are in the 12 Steps of Narcotics Anonymous program. And God, I thank you. I thank you for helping each and every last one of my sisters and brothers that's staying clean. You know, just doing it just for today. This disease of an addiction is horrible, God, and you know that. Along with the other warfares that's going on in the world, you know, somebody woke up this morning saying that they'll never use again, or they're celebrating Clean Time. You know, so I thank you, God. I give you all the thanks. Amen. Okay, y'all, I need a pen, somebody. I wanted to say, you know, give a shout out. Give a shout out to the treatment facilities all over the world, treatment inpatient, outpatient, therapists, and the counselor. You do an amazing job, you know, and I love the work that you do because it affects so many and millions of peoples out there that didn't understand the addiction. And then you got some ones that's still struggling, still going back and forth, seeing if the pain's going to get greater. And it is never going to change. The pain will get great. No lie. No lie. Hey, Cousin Pam, I promise you I'm going to see you this weekend. I love you. Good to see you, too. And I just wanted to tell y'all, I just wanted you to know the work that you do, the service work, dealing with your sponsor, you know, having a commitment to help others. You know, that's amazing. That's amazing thing that what we do to reach out and give back to others as it was freely given to us. And I thank God that he never let our ego get in the way of helping another individual, whether it's help study or learning about the 12 steps or learning about addiction. I'm giving y'all some shout outs today because, see, I know what it does and what it takes for me to stay clean and help another individual or say something good. You know, I thank God for that. I think I was saying that, you know, I met a guy yesterday at the filling station. Me and my kids was my daughter was in the car and my grandbaby, and we was in the car, and I saw this friend guy of mine, and I hadn't seen him in a while. I ain't gonna lie, I hadn't seen him in a while. And I'm like, hey, how you doing? But when I went in the station and came back out, you know, I was like, hey, boy, what up, boy? What you doing? And he came up to me and just broke down. Not good, Miss Renee, not good. I'm not doing too good. I said, okay, what happened? What did you do? You know, see, when you keep playing Russian roulette, the pain gonna get greater. Not every day. It ain't gonna get greater every day, but through the times and the months and seasons, it's gonna get very painful and very hurtful. And I just hugged the brother. I know you were looking at us. I was just hugging him about 3 times. He was hurting. You know, he was hurting. And he said, before I seen you, Miss Renee, I was headed to get me a bull, a big bull or something. It hurted me. And my kids was looking and said, you know, my 14-year-old said, Mama, everywhere you go, you know everybody. And that, why was that guy crying? I said, pain. That was me in the times in my life when I was full of pain. Not just with everybody else, mostly with me. Because I couldn't get it together. And for my kids to see the young brother crying. I stood there about 30 minutes talking to him and giving him some love and hugs. Because sometimes, you know, we struggle, and most of our struggles is all about ourselves. It's all about ourselves. Why we keep struggling, why we keep going back, why we keep drinking. Alcohol is a drug. Crack cocaine is a drug. Heroin is a drug. Pills is a drug. Anything that alter your mood from you being freely is a drug. Simple. Hey, Miss Maddie, my favorite lady. How you doing? I want to see you this weekend. Yeah, y'all keep Miss Maddie in prayer. She just went through some changes and she made it through prayer. Prayer changes things. Y'all don't believe that, but prayer changes things. That's why I use it daily. That's why I'm constantly praying for the ones I can't even see. That's important. Love you, Miss Maddie and Miss Pam. I love y'all both, my cousin and my godmother. I thank y'all so much for being a process of my life. I do. Today we're talking about tired of being tired. You know, when I got back and I got in my car and I said, God, give me something to talk about today. And I thought about the young man yesterday. Just tired of being tired. What we went through. What it took for us to stop using alcohol and drugs and popping pills and drinking cough syrup. What it took for us. It was a reminder yesterday that it's still doing what it's doing. Ain't nothing changed, just a day and time and a date. That's it. Ain't nothing changed. You know, I am so grateful to the God of my understanding, who I choose to call my God, for allowing our process to become our gratefulness and to become a gift of our life till we did something about our disease. This is a disease. Don't think it's not. It is a disease. Some people still think they can keep drinking and keep getting high and it ain't affect you yet. Oh, it's coming. Hey, Latrice, good to see you. It's coming. You can count on it. It's coming. All the alcohol and stuff we have drank through our lives and using drugs, and we still living among the living and still talking about it and still doing service work and still giving God the praise. You know, that's something to be grateful for. So I'm going to go through a whole bunch of things. I'm not going to stay on one thing. And God wanted me to talk about a whole lot of different things in the process of why we were tired of being tired, or why some of us are still struggling and still tired of being tired. You know, when I got tired, when you got tired, we did something about it. It took us a long time. I don't know about me, you, or it took me a long time, because I was a hard-headed addict. The disease of an addiction don't care what color you are. It don't care if you're blind or you can see. It don't care if you can't walk and you can walk. It don't care if you're missing a limb. It don't care. That's just how powerful the disease of an addiction is. Took us through alleys, took us to sleeping in different places, took us to let people abuse us and use us and reject us and hurt us and harm us. But guess what? We did all that to ourselves. And I'm so grateful I learned about the disease in the 12 Steps of Narcotics Anonymous program. Shout out to the 12-step program. Shout out to the Narcotics Anonymous program, which is included in all. AANACA. Tonight I want to talk about tired of being tired. First of all, you must surrender. First of all, you got to get past that, you know, that ego, that pride. you gotta manifest your feelings to what you're doing. You know, egos get in the way. That's why we kept getting high, thinking we on top of the world, we can do whatever we want to, and we ain't seeing the evidence of the disease of addiction yet. We ain't seen the pain. We ain't seen none of it. All we use to live and live to use. That's a true saying. Somebody, whoever came out with that, that was a good one, because that's a true saying. Because I used every day to wake up and go to bed to use again. Take a drink, I drank all day. Used all day, through the day, through the night. You got to surrender. You got to learn to get connected to the God of your understanding, and to ask him to help you so you can learn how to surrender to these drugs, and learn how to give yourself and give your life freedom, and give yourself a chance to understand that this is a disease, and it's going to continue to be a disease. You got to treat it like it's a disease. If you hurt your foot, or something get wrong with your throat, or something get wrong with your legs, you got to go to the doctor. You got to treat it. With this is here, you know, we ain't got to see the doctor every day. But I can tell you what, you got to keep surrendering every day, just for today. You cannot use, no matter what, who died, who lived, or no matter what, who hurt you, no matter who denied you, or who talked about you. You can't use. Using don't solve nothing. All it continues to do is create more pain. That's all it does. And create more bad situations. That's what it does. I know, I'm talking about from experience. I know what it does. You know, ego, we got to get out of that ego. Who's an addict? All of us. Ain't nobody exempt. All of us is an addict. All of us got to come through them doors. I heard somebody say, well, you know, I've been drug-free 20 years and I didn't need no meeting, and I didn't. Okay, that worked for you, baby. It didn't work for me, and I knew the God that I knew and loved, and it still didn't work for me at that time. Hey, my sister Evangelist Selena Green is on here. Thank you, sis. I love you, my sister. You know, egos can get in our way and stop us and create us from looking at ourselves and trying to figure out what's wrong with ourselves. What other addictions do we have? You know, it wasn't just drugs. What other addictions do we have that we have to look at? And we don't want to look at it because most of the time, as long as we ain't using drugs, we think we okay. But we ain't okay. We are an addicted person. We are get addicted to anything. And sometimes, I remember when I used to go to the casino every day. And I didn't want to realize I was addicted. But I wasn't using. I wasn't using. That was my fun habit. But see, I made an addiction out of it. So now, if I decide to go with my cousins or somebody, it ain't an everyday thing. It really is a fun thing, kicking it with my friends and stuff like that, and learning how to have fun without wanting to go every day and get that same feeling. Okay, egos get in the way. Hitting bottom. That's why we said we was tired of being tired, because we know what it is to hit bottom and stay there for a long, long time. And nobody can help us get out of that bottom because we isolate and didn't want nobody to know we was using. Talking about me. Taking a drink every day, or hiding a bottle behind the couch, or I have a bottle behind that couch, a bottle behind the next couch, or a bottle in the bedroom in the drawer. You know, and not wanting to realize that I was a using addict. I'm an okay addict. I can drink and use and have fun and listen to music. But what else is the drugs and alcohol doing to the body that you cannot see? Oh, it damaged me. And I am so grateful that I don't have to stay like that. I am so grateful that I don't ever have to pick up a drink or no drugs. I am grateful. They say a grateful addict can never use again. That's what they say. You know? And so hitting bottom was rough for us. It was rough for us. hitting bottom and didn't know how to get back up and staying down there and not learning how to get up. And sometimes I was in the bed in a fetal position because I was tired of being tired and didn't know what to do and how to get myself out of this situation that I put myself in. We'll talk about that too, because something great happened to all of us, not just me. This ain't just about me. This ain't nowhere near about me. I can be doing something different, but I'm doing what God told me to do. And he's a man that I don't hide from no more. I don't have to run. I don't have to not listen. He's the biggest reason of my success and the program along with it. But I put my trust in God in everything I do. Everything I do, I put my trust in the NA program because it helps me to keep the connection with God so I won't never have to go back again. Denial, man. That denial, man, is something else. Denying myself of freedom. Denying myself of happiness. We denied ourselves of joy. We deny ourselves of understanding why we conquered this disease in our lives from the beginning. From the beginning. Shout out to the ones that's left behind because we lost our loved one due to addiction or overdose. Shout out to you all that kept on living. That kept your loved one alive. I keep my son alive every day. I keep my nephew alive every day. I don't forget about them just because I can't see them. I don't ever want to forget about the person I put so much energy to love and understand and connect with. So shout out to your parents. Shout out to your nephews. Shout out to your daughters and sons. You know, don't ever give up no matter what happens. Go through the struggle without using drugs and alcohol. Anger was the biggest thing in our recovery because we kept wanting to use no matter what. We got mad. We held things against people. We blamed everybody but ourselves. We didn't look at ourselves. We just kept using because something devastated in our life happened to us. Something behind closed doors happened to us. Somebody mistreated us. Somebody didn't do us right. Somebody didn't do us right. Other than our own self. Hey, Gene. Hey, Raffy, Gene, good to see you, baby. Something happened that we didn't treat ourselves right. Like that brother I saw yesterday in front of my kids, and they couldn't understand why they seen a man cry. And I had to explain to them, tears don't have a certain eye that it comes out of. Men's and women's, we have a right to cry. Kids have a right to cry. But they had never seen a man cry. They had never saw that. Unless it was at a funeral. Or somebody saw somebody dead. But to see somebody at a filling station that's hurting like he was yesterday, now I understand why when I came out of that filling station, God told me he needs you. I'm like, God, I just spoke to him. We just waited and we talked. He said, no, he needs you. And I'm obedient to when it comes to God. Just like I used to be obedient to the drug. We used to be obedient to the people, places, and things that we was hanging in. So now I'm obedient to God, but the only difference is the word is very great coming from God. He put us in different people's lives, and I stood up there and I talked to that young brother. What you gonna do? You gonna go get another drink? What you gonna do? You gotta do something. You done made some mistakes. I ain't seen you around to get it. Do what you gotta do. Here's my number. If you need something, he said, I never knowed me to be homeless and I work. Well, join the rest of us. You been there before. You had a good job and was homeless. And didn't have nowhere to stay, or somebody let you stay here for a couple of weeks, or here for a day, or here for another week or so. Yeah, but we put ourselves in that position, and we must get ourselves out of it. Going to a meeting and finding some help. It's strength and hope in this program that helps us. Only when you want it, only when you need it, only when you ask for it. Anger was a part of the reason I continued to stay high. And I know y'all had to have some anger in using. Because then none of us like ourselves. We just put up with ourselves, and we just kept using and kept lying to ourselves and kept denying that we even had a problem with this disease of an addiction. Denial. We was definitely in denial. Denial is the part of getting us closer to the God of our understanding. We know how to deny something. We know how to overlook something. And I did that. You did that. You know, this disease don't have no perfect or certain person that it hit. It can attack a home, a body in a home any given time. I know because I watch my friends, I watch me, and I watched my dear uncles and aunties. Okay, I'm talking about it now. I'm talking about it tonight. Denial is the biggest thing that keep us from going into treatment or to get the help that we need, or stop drinking the bottle, or stop popping pills or doing drugs. Denial set in, and we think that we can do it all by ourselves. But no addict alone can do anything by themselves. You got to have peoples in your life. You got to have a support group. You got to have friends that you can talk to. Everybody, even in recovery, ain't my friend. We just got one thing in common, and it's just that we both addicts. We just both addicts. Attitude problem. Oh yeah, I had an attitude problem. Oh, we had. I ain't gonna just put that on me. I'm giving y'all some of that too. I don't want to hold on to that attitude problem by myself, because all of us gonna have to go through the same thing to get to the same doors to get the help that we need. And recovery is a big thing. That's a big thing that I am so proud of everybody. I don't care if I see you for 3 months or 8 months, 10 years, 5 years. You know, once you're an addict, and once you realize that you ain't got to be in denial, and once you understand what freedom is, then you can join us and say the same thing and feel the same way, that we are clean from drugs and alcohol. We are clean. Attitude problem. Powerless. I'm powerless. We powerless over drugs and alcohol. You know, I didn't never think I would ever be able to say that to anybody, because I didn't know what it meant. All I know that I had control, and the control almost cost me my life. You know, some of us come in and we study drink, and I see it today. I see it even in my family. People still drink, and think they okay because they got a little money, or think they okay because they can buy a house, or think they okay because they can run a school, think they okay because they became a lawyer. Hey, but will it stay okay? See, that's the key, because you don't see the damage that it does that we put in our body. You don't see the consequences that's going to become behind when we are in denial and not realizing we are powerless over drugs and alcohol. I don't even want drugs and alcohol in my life ever again. I say that I'll never use again, and I mean that. And my life shows for me. It don't have to show for nobody else, but it shows for me. And it shows for you too. No matter, you ain't got to explain nobody why you did that, why you got drunk, why you wasn't the best mother, why you wasn't the best father, why you wasn't the best sister. But the good part about it, you ain't that no more. You the best sister now. You get along. You ain't got to use. So when you start understanding the disease of an addiction is a trap, it's to trap us from finding our way and understanding the disease. Drugs and alcohol is a trap. It's a silent trap. It don't have to say hello. The alcohol won't say hi. All it do is call on you. The drugs won't have to say hello and hi. All it says, come get me. I'm only speaking about me. I know what it is to be a dope fiend. I know what it is to be a crackhead. I know what it is to be a junkie. I was every name that I gave everybody else and became the same name that I gave everybody else. So I am grateful that I don't have to use no matter what happens. Man, I done had some pain in my life being clean. But the best gift I got out of that is I ain't never had to use no more. I went through it all. I went through everything. I went through it all. You went through it all. Come on, y'all. Y'all know I'm talking truth. Y'all went through some things that y'all didn't never think that you could stay clean. But when you was introduced to the 12 Steps of Narcotics Anonymous program and got a connection, a spiritual connection with the God of your understanding, you got it. And you kept it. That's why we still clean, no matter about what we go through or what the sight look like. That is not curable. Hey, I don't care what nobody say. Even when the doctors tell me, if it's on time on my deathbed and the doctor tell me, well, you only got so long to live, that ain't your choice. That ain't what you do. You just give us a time. But only God of our understanding. And when I die, I want to die clean. I don't want nothing in my body. I work so hard, we work so hard, you work so hard to get clean and deal with the stress and deal with the disappointment and deal with the uncommon things that happen in our life. Deal with people who want to pop up in your life and start up some confusion. You know, I don't deal with that no more. When I see confusion, I don't deal with it. I stay away from it because that kept me getting high. That kept me getting powerless. The isolation. We know what isolation means. Isolation means we don't want to be bothered. You know, some people, if you are an addict and you using, yeah, I'll be around you. You know, I used to buy so many people so much drug just to have company. I ain't got to buy nobody nothing. I ain't got to buy nobody. I love being with me. It was a time when I couldn't stand me. It was a time where I didn't even understand myself. But the God of my understanding kept working on us. And he kept working on us. And he kept sending people and sending messages and sending people that we could hear their voice and help us out. See, that's what I love about that, man. I love God. Every day that I wake up, I say, God, thank you. Because I know where I used to be. Y'all know where y'all used to be. Come on now. Ain't nobody in here by themselves. Y'all know what you used to be. Y'all know what you used to do. You know what you couldn't stand about yourself. Courage. It took some courage for us to walk into a inpatient and tell them I got a problem. It took patience. It took courage. Once I started trying to do it my way, and once I found out and got the tools to use that I need, it was up to me to do it. It's up to you to do it. Can't nobody hold your hand. Ain't nobody gonna feel sorry for you because didn't nobody feel sorry for me. I waited on people to, you know, I got in that party, that pity party, and waited for somebody to help me. And the only person that helped me in words was my sister and my brother and my mother now. Because nobody else knew I was using. That isolation. That isolation is terrible. And when God show us death and show us that if you don't stop using, this is what's going to happen. If you don't stop drinking, if you don't stop popping these pills, if you don't stop sticking things in your arms that don't belong there, you will die early. You will die quicker than you think. So don't ever think that you can keep using or drinking and think you won't have a day to where God had to say, I tried to help you. I sent this person. I sent you to this place. You know, and these are the things that I had to look at when I came in. I was very, very angry. I was very angry. And I had to understand who was I angry with. Who can I keep blaming myself, blaming things on so I can have the continuous, I can continue to keep using. As long as I can blame it and put it on somebody else. Yeah, I had to learn that through the disease of an addiction. I had to come in and fall down and hit bottom and then get back up and fall down and hit bottom again and go to places that I thought me, being a lady, would never have to enter, but I did. But I did. Compulsion. Our compulsion is off the chain when we use it. Our compulsiveness is off the chain because it tells us, you know, that impulsive thinking that we can keep on using. Ain't nobody got to tell me to stop. I'm going to stop when I get ready. You know, it didn't work like that, and it did work like that. The reason it said impulsiveness didn't work like that until I understand that I couldn't do it no more. And that's when the compulsive stopped in using. Sometimes the compulsion will come in somebody that's been clean and tell them, well, you need to use, or, like when my mama died, driving down there. And I always say that because I went through this feeling driving. I always said, when I, maybe I'll take a drink or maybe I'll use that. Come on, Renee, what's wrong with you? This is the time to be strong. Your mama's got her eyes on you. People's got you. Don't think because people's died, they ain't here. Like my godmama say. She said, Renee, they in paradise. They still got their eyes on us. They still there when we don't see them. They still behind the unseen scenes when we think ain't nobody loving on us or seeing us. And they all around us. I believe that. Can't nobody take that away from me. I believe my mother can see me and still, praying for me, and my son and all the ones that love me, and my great-grandmama and my grandmama. They still here. They just in a, they in a place where they got to keep our eyes on us. And I love that. I don't have to see you to know and feel you, to know that you here. I don't have to go through that. Unmanageability. What's unmanageability, y'all? Unmanageability is when you can't stop doing something, when you messing up everything, even your thinking. Unmanageability is when you was doing something good and paying your bills on time and going to the doctor, and when you was going to see your therapist or your counselor, and unmanageability step in and you stop doing it. You do it every now and then some of us stop. We didn't even continue to go on. Unmanageability stepped in us, and it just took over. Our whole life became unmanageable to do anything. Unmanageability will come in when you're in the act of using. People can go through unmanageability even when they ain't using. The way you think. It's how you think. Unmanageability hit all of us. It hit home for everybody that used, everybody that came in treatment, everybody that came through the doors. Unmanageability set in, and we had to get free and learn how to get back on track. And anybody that it hits to become unmanageability in your life, you can get manageable again. You can get better. Don't stay that way. I honestly know that. For humility set in, and it just took over. And the humility it made me feel like I was a failure. I couldn't do nothing. I didn't want to look at people. I couldn't even look at your eyes and talk. That's why when I talk to people now, I got to look you in your eyes. And I said, come on, let me see your eyes. Told their brother, I said, let me see you. And I asked him what a counselor asked me. I said, when you get in your car and get ready to leave, ask yourself, who are you? Ask yourself that. Because that opened doors for me when my counselor, Sterling White, gave it to me. That opened a door for me. Who am I? Why he asked me who I am? You ask, if a person throws something at you and you can use that and you can hold on to that. Hey, Caroline, good to see you. You can hold on to that. You better. The principles of the tradition, the principles in the 12-step program, the principles that we must follow in order to stay clean, the principles that we must understand how to work it in our lives on a daily life. Oh yes, the principles matter. Principles matter because they wrote them for us so we can understand the principles of the tradition, the principle of the 12 step, the principle of, it's the principle of the tradition, principle of the 12 step. And it's another one too, but I'm moving too fast because I get kind of excited when I get on here and get to talking about addiction. Program saved my life, and God encouraged me to continue. He saved your life, he saved my life, so we got something in common, y'all. But I'm going to tell y'all something. I'm going to go on and get finished so I can go through everything. I'll go clean. Being clean is beautiful. Being clean might not look good to the ones that still using, that's partying, that's out there and still getting high. But being clean is the best gift that we gave to ourselves. Being clean and dealing with life on life turn without having to depend on a drug or depend on picking something up or depend on going somewhere to get a drink or going to the wrong places because we're not clean. Being clean for me is a gift. And I had to learn how to give it to myself. I couldn't wait on nobody else to give me what I know I needed or what you know you needed. You needed to be clean and free to put some things in your life back in order that you had messed up. The desire to use has left. Desire to ever want to pick up again has left. To everyone that's on here that's clean, celebrating clean time, the desire of your day-to-day has left. That's how you get the 30 days, 60 days, 90 days, a year. It has left. The desire to want to even use, desire to even want to feel humility, desire to want to have a desire to use is gone for me. I don't have that desire. Hey, Stella, good to see you, baby. I don't have that desire no more. And you know, when God come in, see, people don't understand when you surrender to anything. That means you let go. I'm done. No matter how I'm feeling or how I want to take a drink or why I want to take a pill or shoot something in my arm, you know, I surrender. And surrender means you totally surrender. You don't go back. You don't change your mind. You don't pick up, but some of us do. The human flesh does. And then we have to find out again and again that the pain got greater this time because now we got health issues. Now we caused ourselves some mental illness. Now we caused ourselves some anxiety. Now we done put ourselves in a situation that now we got problems behind not having the desire not to use. I don't want to use. Whatever the drugs got out of me, you got. But we took charge. We took our charge back. And I mean, I done shed some tears. I done been hurt. Come on, y'all. We done been hurt. We done been rejected. We done been talked about. You know, we go through things on life things. You know, some are hurt. The worst is hurt is from our kids. And then, you know, some of our so-called friends. You know, but I had to understand I don't have the desire. And I know y'all don't have the desire. Some of the people's on here like Jean and Miss Maddie's and my sister and Caroline and Stella and Pam. All y'all don't have desire to use no more because your life have become a productive situation. You do productive things in your life to keep you from using. And if we think we want to use, that's why we have to go to meetings. That's why we have a sponsor. That's why we have a connection with the God of our understanding. Everything is meant to help us, not harm us. Relapse. Some of us relapse. You know, like the guy I was telling y'all about that my kids seen cry. I watched him come in and stay in, you know, and it's anonymity. But I mean, he was hurting. He was still hurt. He was still hurt. My kids had to see him cry. My kids, they was in the car. They didn't know he seen it. But we was in the filling station. I call the filling station the gas station. You know, in the gas station, and you know, just put his head on me, and I can feel the pain. You know, 2 or 3 times, and I just hugged him. I said, but now you gotta. You know, you talking the good stuff, you know what you did, but you got to do something about it. This your recovery. This ain't my recovery. This your recovery. You have to take charge. You have to do what you feel that you need to do to get you to the place that you need to get to so you won't have the desire, so you won't be relapsing. You know, and I really felt so sorry. You know, I'm one of them people that care a lot. And when I saw this man cry and he take off his sunglasses, I felt every pain. I remember being in that situation. I remember crying and on my knees and hitting the ground. I remember putting a gun to my head. I remember wanting to jump over the bridge. I remember wanting to take my own life. See, I've been there. I know what it is to doubt yourself and not think that you are worthy. But every human being that God gave you breath, you are worthy for what? Change. You are worthy for what? Freedom. You are worthy for what? Staying clean. You are worthy for all kind of changes in your life when you become clean. When you have the desire not to use no more. When you have the understanding that I can be honest now. I can be honest with myself. Honesty got to start with you. You can't give somebody else honesty and don't give it to you and think you ain't going to have problems behind that. I couldn't give nobody else no honesty about me or the honesty about me until I became honest within myself. I'm honest now. I'm honest. You got to be honest. Even if it hurts somebody, you got to be honest. Even if you hurting yourself, you got to be honest and tell the truth on that disease of an addiction. Because we do have a disease. And that disease can surface up at any given time. It's still in our body just waiting on you to pick up. Just waiting on you to make a U-turn. But I ain't made no U-turn. I ain't going to make no U-turn. Because I know what using done for me. And the same thing it done for me, it done for you. Same different addict. Same different garage, different street we walked down, different mans we slept with. We abused ourselves. And it's time. Recovery is the thing to help us rebuild. We got to rebuild our self-esteem, our understanding. We got to dress ourselves up and make ourselves feel good even if we ain't feeling good. I've been there too and still get there. Because some days I don't feel good, but because of my kids, it pushes me to want to get up and do something. It pushes me to know somebody else in the house is depending on me. So I have to always be aware that I must get up and make a change just for that day. And that change that you make just for that day, not using, is a change. Responsibilities. Responsibility is something that I love, that I've learned to cherish. I'm responsible now. I have responsibilities in my life. I have to pay my bills. I have to buy food to eat. I have to go shopping. I have to go to the doctor. We have to go to a therapist, or we have to go to a counselor. We become responsible people. So now we got responsibilities in our life that we had once had before when we was using, and we decided we didn't want them responsibilities no more because we wanted to continue to use. I didn't want to pay no bill. I didn't want everything to get shut off. You hear me? I didn't want everything to get shut off. I remember the day that I got clean and came home. I mean, this was so weird. I was clean for 28 days. And my sister can witness this. I was clean 28 days. And I always wonder why I buy so many candles. Why did I keep candles? Boxes and boxes and boxes of candles. And you come to my house now and candles everywhere. Candles I ain't even used. I love the smell of a good candle. Or I love to cut the light off and see that little bright light moving all by itself. It's something about that candle that's burning that makes me on fire, that makes me want to keep on going. But honey, I know responsibilities that I had, I threw them out the door. The drug had became more important than responsibility. Now ain't that something? That drug is so powerful, it'll take a person that's responsible and make them unresponsible. Responsibility to me today is a gift because I learned how to be accountable for making the right choices and being accountable and having responsibilities in my life. It's my responsibility to get up in the morning and wash my face. Am I responsible for not using drugs today? It's my responsibility for not let everybody and what they say get in my head. It's my responsibility to remove them. It's my responsibility to don't let nobody tell me what I can and cannot do. It's my responsibility to walk in a door with my head up and let you know you didn't win. That's my responsibility. I ain't putting that on nobody else. Our responsibility is for us to get up and go to a meeting. Our responsibility is for us to recognize that we have a disease called addiction. Called addiction. And ain't nobody gonna sit on that pity pot with you, because I don't get on no pity pot with nobody. But I can feel sad and I can be hurt. I was hurt yesterday when my kids were sitting in the car and had to see a grown man cry. I've been there. Been a grown lady crying. I met a lot of grown men that cried. Okay, now, we done cried and we done got through that, and but it was so painful. I can't even tell you how painful that that conversation was standing in the gas station and didn't care who saw us, but I had to give him to him real, and I had to give him some love. Then no matter which way he went, I gave him what God told me to do. God said he needed me, and I gave him the best of me, and then I told him I'm there. I'm there. If you need help, I'm there. But you gotta be responsible for your own situation. I can't take you in and let you be. Oh no. That happened to me before. I can't do that. I can't do that at all. Attention seeking. Attention seeking. I was attention seeking for everybody. Every time I wanted somebody to like me, I wanted somebody to understand me. I wanted somebody to recognize that I have a problem. I wanted somebody to know that I was sorry. Attention seeker, but then I do the same thing over and over again. Attention seeker, I wanted you to feel sorry for me, so I asked you for some credit. Or I pawned my car, always wanting attention. Attention seeker never wins. You never win being an attention seeker. Because somebody going to get tired of you. Like somebody got tired of me. Somebody going to get tired of that. Attention seeker only going to last for so long. Somebody going to get tired of you. That attention seeker ain't going to last too long. And that's why I don't attention seek. Everything I do it for the gift of me helping somebody else, or me helping myself, or improving myself. But that attention seeking ain't for me. Forgiveness, man. I had to learn how to forgive. You know, some people say, oh, I forgave him. No, you didn't. Because I was still getting high for some things that happened years and years ago. Even in my childhood, I didn't forgive them. Because when you forgive them, you move on and you do better and you get better. I was holding a lot of resentments in my heart for certain people, and I kept getting high. I didn't want to tell my story all the time, the same story, why I'm feeling this way or why I did that, so I kept using. I didn't know how to forgive until I came into the 12 Step of Narcotics Anonymous program, and I got a connection with God, and God showed me how to forgive. Just like you had to forgive yourself, Renee, you have to take the honor of forgiving somebody else. Because see, a lot of stuff happened to me, even as a little kid. A lot of stuff, you know, a lot of stuff that I ate off of, that I got big because I was eating, because I didn't know how to deal with rejection, or I didn't know how to deal with denial. You know, I didn't know how to deal with forgiving. I didn't know that. But ain't it crazy that you can forgive somebody else and they can say they forgive you and they still hold on to it because it create problems between you and them? Have you met them kind of people yet? That act like when I've said I forgave, when I told you I was sorry and I forgave you, you forgot about you did some damage to me. You forgot about you did some things to me, but yet you want to hold on what I did to you 20, 30, 40 years ago, and I forgave you. This program, you have to be a forgiving person to understand how to work the program. You can't forgive the ones you want to. You got to forgive everybody. Even the ones that you looked at in a whole different way years ago. Even the ones that you thought was awesome. And you saw years later that they just like you. They just make mistakes. You gotta forgive. Ain't nobody perfect. And don't ever let a person think, I don't care if they're a pastor, I don't care if they're a first lady, I don't care if they're a bishop, I don't care if they're a doctor, I don't care if they're a lawyer, I don't care what they is. Ain't nobody better than you. They might have a title, or they might have a role, but they ain't no better than me. That's why I can walk in with my head up, and that's why I can still do what I do, because I learned how to forgive. It might take me some time now. I ain't gonna lie. When I'm hurt, it take me a long time. When I'm hurt, I can't forgive you right away. When I'm hurt, I got to look and see what part that I play. When I'm hurt, I got to understand the God of my understanding. He forgave us for everything that we had done. That's why he did what he did for us. That's why the God of my understanding always remind us that we are no better than the next individual, but we are who we say we are. Ain't nobody better than me. I don't care what kind of car you drive. I don't care how you dress. I don't care what kind of titles you got. I don't care how many masters you got. Ain't nobody better than me. That's the way I have to treat me, because I understand how to treat myself when I was an underdog. When we was the underdogs, we understood. We took all that. We took all that laughing and talking about us, you know, from our kids and everybody mad at us, from our friends and associates. Yeah, but hey, ain't nobody better than me. I work too hard on me. I celebrate me every day by not using. I celebrate me every day that I don't use. That's a celebration to you and to me. Don't get it twisted. I don't care how old you get. You can still celebrate you. I don't care how young you are. You can still celebrate you. Don't let nobody ever put you in a situation to where they think they better than you because they got money right now, or they got money or more money than you. Money is the root of all evil. I can be broke and still celebrate me. I ain't said I can, I have. And I still celebrated me. Why? Because I didn't let that be find me and get me upset to where I can go and lie and get some more money and go use. So I celebrate me straight up every day. I don't need nobody laying in my bed. I don't need nobody whispering in my ear. I don't need nobody to tell me everything that I work so hard to find out about myself. I celebrate me because I didn't use today. It's all about using with me. Because, see, if I don't use, you better watch out. You better watch out when we don't use. We become productive peoples in the Society of Narcotics Anonymous program. We become understanding that we are who we say we are. We can go back to school. We can get saved. We can change our lives. We can do the impossibilities that we thought we couldn't do. Forgiveness. You got to forgive no matter how it hurts you to forgive. You got to forgive and move on. And then later on, you'll see why God said you got to forgive. Because he'll tell you, yeah, I'll take your enemies and I'll let them be I'll make them your footstool. Or somebody think they the mess. I get that all the time. I get that they throw their little words in there, or they act like they sitting at a table, act like they the mess. You know, but you on my level. You the same human being that I am. You the same recovery person that I am. Ain't nothing different about you that's different about me. Only thing that's different is clean time. That's it and that's all. That's it and that's all. Family. Family matters once you get clean. But some people's in the family, they still matter, but I have to let them be in their space. See, it's just some people you can't make them love you. It's some people you can't even make them like you. Family means everything. Anybody that know me know I'm family oriented. I love family. But I've been hurt through family. So I have to know the difference and I have to know the boundaries. Just because you family don't mean that I'm allowed you to do the things that cost me to use or cost me pain before. I got beyond that when I forgave you. I got beyond that when I got clean. I got to beyond that when I had the desire not to use again. I got it when I learned how to have courage to tell you how I felt and forgave you all at the same time and let go. You ain't no saint and I wasn't either. And I have to remember that. I have to always, happiness is very important to me. And sometimes just laying in my bed, chilling, reading a book, or taking a phone call because somebody needs to help, or somebody needs to talk. My health and strength is good. It ain't the best, but it ain't the worst neither. But that happiness is everything to me. Progression. Progression is something that, you know, when we started off using the progression that we wanted to stay clean, but we let other things that we progressing in, like getting high, the progression came more powerful that I got to think about it and I need to think about it. Now I want to use the progression. The progression gets worse. It gets bad. The ability to learn the difference, the ability to want to change, the ability to want to understand this disease of an addiction, the ability to understand why when I'm happy and things is good, why do I feel depressed? You know, come on, the ability to find out everything about yourself, it has to come from you. Can't nobody, when I go to the therapist or I go to a counselor, his ability is to let me talk, and him analyze what's going on, and then his ability is for me to find out myself, what can I do to change things. My ability is to learn that I needed some more peoples in my life that was just like me. I needed a whole secondary friend, a whole secondary family, like NA, the recovering addict. I need a whole bunch of other friends other than people that I know that still use, but I don't fool with them. And God gave me the ability to know that I don't ever have to use again. The ability to know that I can continue to change and make a progress and come out better. Every year is better and better. The ability to know that the disease of an addiction is real. The ability to know that I understand that I have to forgive people the same way that God in my understanding forgave me. The ability to know that I have to go to a meeting in order to get another day's free, or not even another day clean, but the ability to know I must continue to do what I need to do so I can learn how to stay clean. I want to keep clean. I like this feeling. Can't nobody take this away from me. I like getting up and having a desire not to use today just for today. I like that because you gave me the ability to know that I'm in control. That I got a God of my understanding, I got an NA program, and I got ability to know that I got some kind of play in that, not to know that I don't have to use again. Pain. Being in pain. Everybody know about that. Everybody on here. Everybody, I ain't got to say nothing. You know, everybody know how to be in a painful place. How the disease of an addiction, or just how some of our kids, or just how some of our friends that we looked at put us in a painful situation. You know, but I understand painful situation makes me stronger. You can't break me. Only thing it does, it makes me remind me of me being in pain. I've been in a painful place in my life, but what I do know from that painful place is that I had the ability to change what? Change how to deal with the pain that I'm in, and to change how to get out of that pain, and trust the God of my understanding to take me through. And you know, like painful, I was so pain. I've been in so much pain, and I can get, you know, I've been in when I was lost my mother. I was in a space that I'm so glad I had a sponsor and some women's and to help me go through that, because I never dealt with that. See, that was something to come in our life, that painful feeling that just won't go away, that painful feeling that just keep aching, that painful feeling that just won't go away. But to the God of my understanding, he had to help me. He had to help me search and understand why I'm in that painful place. Blaming people, that's no more. I take charge. I don't blame nobody for something I did in the past, and ain't gonna blame nobody for something now that happens to me or I created myself. I take responsibilities for my own actions every day. Every day that I stay clean is a grateful day that I know that I don't have to blame anybody else for nothing that they did to me, or because you can't do that no more. You can't take me in that place. Because see, long as I got a phone, I can hang up. Long as I got a phone, I ain't got to pick it up. Long as I understand that what it takes for me to be in a blaming mode, I ain't got to do that. I take charge. I ain't blaming nobody. I ain't blaming how I looked at you. I ain't blaming how you proceed to fool everybody. I ain't blaming you that I don't think that you're human like me. because you got a title, or because you went to school, or because you a doctor or a lawyer or a teacher or a school bus driver. I ain't no blaming no more for nobody. Yeah, I'm taking all. I'm accepting everything that happened to me, only for the things that I didn't have control over. I can't blame me for something that I didn't have control for when I was a youngster. I can't do that no more. I had to learn how to forgive. That's when the forgive came. Gift of life, to wake up in the morning, no matter if I got a backache or a foot ache or a headache, to wake up in the morning is a gift. Ain't that right, Miss Maddie? All of y'all. To wake up in the morning where you can do something productive and change your life, and just knowing that you got your health and strength. Just knowing that is a gift. Mental illness is real. You know, all these people's killing our kids and killing these people because they mental illness, and how the drugs and the alcohol turned to, you know, they used to didn't believe mental illness. They was two separate things, but now you realize, what you say? They were saying that all the time, that mental illness got something to do with the disease of an addiction, because when we in the disease of an addiction, we think different, we act different, we don't think. Mental illness set in, the depression set in. I had the depression. Ain't nobody gonna tell me. I've been there. I know what depression do. That's why I try to stay out of that depressing mode. You know, sometimes Satan be wanting to get me in that depressing mode, but I ain't giving him all that power no more. Remember, I took desire not to use again to change things in my thoughts and the way I think. You gotta change the way you think. If you all want to just lay down and do nothing, when you lay down and do nothing. That's how I used to be when I was used. I didn't want to do nothing. All I want to do is get high, lay down, and then after the high get down, I wanted to go get some drink. And then when the drink, you can't get no drunker, and you do the stupid stuff that you do, and then all of a sudden, Guess what? You ain't changed nothing. Mental illness is real. They're killing our kids. You call some cops, or you call somebody to come and help de-escalate situation, because this person have mental illness. This person have a drug use. And what gets me, because I was that one person had drug use. I was that mental illness. I was the one with anxiety. I was the one with depression. So are you. The disease of an addiction brings all that. Some of y'all do that right now. You see people, they move their fingers or their toes. I'll be watching one of my daughters one time. She can be sitting there, a little toe going up and down, her finger, she biting her finger. And that's that depression. That's in that, uncomfortable mode that she in. And, when she tell me she don't know why she feel like that, change it. That's all I can tell you, is to change it. Because I had to change the way I think and the way I act and what I did and where I went. I had to change every experience in my life gave me a chance to change every feeling and every thought and everything I wanted to God to do in my life. I had to do the footwork. Do the footwork. Love. You gotta love people that you used to couldn't stand. You gotta love people that tried to hurt you. You gotta love your kids, the ones you helped create. You still got to love them, no matter how they talk to you, no matter how they abuse you mentally, no matter how much they challenge you, how your friends do you. You got to learn how to love in order to love yourself. And it started with me. It's got to start with you. You got to learn how to love yourself. Change. We all made a change. Even when we go to the doctor and doctor tell us don't do something, and we realize that change must stop. If the doctor tell you to stop smoking, you must stop smoking. If the doctor tell you can't do this, you must got to do. So them some changes in your life that only you can change. When they told me you're an addict, now you can't use. You can't drink no more. You can't use drugs. You can't smoke the funny stick no more. Okay, all right. Well, I can't do nothing. I got to stay clean through all the hurts and pain and everything I got to go through. I can't take nothing. Nope. No matter what. No matter what, you can't use no more. No matter what happens in your life, you can't use. Gratitude. Gratitude that I'm on here with you. Gratitude that I woke up today with another day clean time. Gratitude is for you to wake up and you learn how to deal with your own self. Learn how to deal with the things that hurt you the most. Learn how to deal with death. Learn how to deal with rejection. You know, that damn doggone gratitude, having a gratitude to the God of your understanding for taking a person like me, that old crackhead, that old dope fiend, for taking a person like you and use me for your own good. You think I ain't got no gratitude? That's why I'm here. That's why no matter where I go, if I got to go out of town, you know, sometimes I can't though. But sometimes if I go out of town and I'm stuck. The gratitude that God gave me to have within myself is enough for me to keep that gratitude. No matter how I look, no matter what I'm going through, no matter how many bills I couldn't pay, no matter what I couldn't do, no matter what I could do, I'm still grateful for understanding this gratitude that I have. God gave it to me. And y'all remember that. Gratitude is something that you work hard for, and then you throw it up to God and say, God, here it is. My gratitude I'm showing you that I can get up and go to a meet, that I can get up and do this, and I can get up and do that. My gratitude is great. It's great. Relationships. Having better relationships than you ever had. Having an understanding that you know that you got good relationships. And unhealthy, and your relationship is not unhealthy. I work so hard to keep my circle of relationships good. I don't want nothing that's going to hurt me, hinder me, detour me into thinking wrong or doing wrong. So I have to keep the relationship good in my life. And the one thing that I always talking about, trust. Trust the God of my understanding to help me understand. You can't trust everybody, but my trust is better than it was. Because even in my using, I didn't trust nobody because I was hurt so much. I have been hurt through my life, and it ain't just about me at all. Everybody on here have been hurt some point in time in your life. Somebody done did something to you or said something to you. Somebody's still holding on to some stuff that they know they ain't. But don't worry about it. Because the God of my understanding, as you live, you surely die. And as you understand, you got to forgive the people that hurt you. You got to look at God. You got to forgive the people that hurt you. You got to forgive the people that talked about you. You got to forgive the people that don't even understand you. You still got to forgive them. Trust. I trust my thinking. I trust my understanding. I trust the people that I pick up and call. It's something about you that I've learned how to open up and trust all over again. And that's freedom from drugs. Taught me how to endure all that. How to take my trust, how to take my love, how to take my ability to understand, how to have a better attitude, how to move my ego out the way, how to not let fear set in and take me to a whole nother level. I don't let fear come in. I'll tell you that straight up. I don't care what it is. Nothing fears me no more. Only person fear me is God, because I don't want to let him down. So I come to a point in my life that I thank God. I thank God for the desire not to use again just for today. And that's every day just for today. I thank God for each and every last one of y'all. And we are on step 2. Coming. Let me see. One is on my mind. I've been talking so much. But anyway, we are on step 2. And I believe come to our life had come unmanageable. Step 2. My mind trying to go blank. But just know we on step 2. And I know these. See, that's how Satan do. I know my steps. And sometimes your mind just go blank. I ain't alone, am I? Am I alone, y'all? Because there's somebody mind go blank all the time. Mine went blank a couple times a day, and I had to say, God, am I getting older? Or what? Because I went to the drawer to get something out the drawer, and then I had to stand there and look at the drawer and couldn't realize what I wanted, came in the drawer to get until I got ready to sit back down. Then I had to get back up and go all the way back to the drawer because I remember what I went in there to get. Sometimes we'll do that. Thank you all so very much. I'll see y'all Sunday. We'll be on step 2. Come to believe that a power greater than ourselves could restore us to sanity. I think that's not But anyway, I ain't finna bless you. Thank you. And I always close out. If ain't nobody told you today that they love you, I do. I love everybody that I can't see. I love Miss Pamela, my cousin. I love my sister. I love Miss Maddie, who I talk to all the time. Not like we been, but she been going through a little bit, and my prayers has been answered. I've been praying for Miss Maddie. Caroline, I pray for you. I love you too. Stella, you know I love Stella. I missed you yesterday, Stella. I love you. And for everybody else whose name I didn't call or can't call because I can't see it, a lot of them come on way after, way late at night. But I love you too, and I'm very proud of y'all. I'm so proud of you that you stand clean. No matter what happened or we don't know what happened, I'm so proud of you that you don't drink. I love you too, Miss Maddie. I love the fact that we can love again. That's a good thing, because at one time all love was gone in my life, and I worked so hard to gain it back. And I love even the people that I couldn't stand, because that's the only way that I'm going to make it and to see the change in me. So God bless you. I'm going to close out. God grant me the serenity to accept the things that I cannot change, the courage to change the things that I can, and the wisdom. I always get stuck right here, y'all. The wisdom to know the difference. God bless you. Have a safe weekend. You know, I hope that don't nobody, you know, in the recovery, overdose, don't lose nobody. But thank God that it's a free will thing that we can not use just for the day or take a drink. May God continue to help the ones that are still struggling out there, the ones we can't see, the ones that we know they're still struggling in and outside of them doors. Bless them too, that they might get it like we did. God bless you this weekend. Stay safe. I love you. And if ain't nobody told you, tell them Renee Williams said. Now I'm dead serious, and I can see y'all looking at me. I love you, no matter what. Good night. Good evening, good evening, good evening. Good evening to everybody that I had a chance